this channel called Food for Thought, and this is episode 1. Okay, don't let your darkness consume you. Let's get it.
So when the metal hit his mug, he just sunk in place. 100K Holla, chillin' Bahamas. Come home to your crib and throw in your mama.
What is good, HollaSquad? We are the latest squad on the YouTube platform. Listen, today we are back with another reaction, and we have Food for Thought episode 1. Okay, this is from a channel called Freedom in Thought. All right, I subscribe to the channel. Listen, we react and we gotta follow. Look, every morning I'm gonna drop a video from the live stream from the day before where we react to a video like this. It might not always be this channel, but I found this channel and it's pretty elite. All right, I gotta show y'all. All right, let's hop into this. Holly, can you clap your?
This video was made possible by Brilliant, a math and science problem-solving website that makes learning fun and rewarding. In On the Genealogy of Morals, Nietzsche compares the feeling of resentment to a toxin or an illness.
Facts. Because
he believes that resentment is anti-life and anti-growth. This is a sentiment I agree with.
This is like when people say you can only move forward looking into the future. You can only grow looking into the future. You look into the past, you know what I'm saying?
And it's an idea I want to explore for myself. Why do we become resentful? What happens when we become resentful? And how do we prevent ourselves from becoming resentful?
Fire.
These are some of the questions I want to grapple with and explore in this essay. So let's start at the beginning. Where does resentment come from? Finn, a 28-year-old man, is resentful towards women as a whole, but he wasn't always this way. How did he get here?
This is good. This is
frustration.
Good content. Especially
a lot
what's going
of
on the internet
frustration.
Right now.
But how did this frustration accumulate? Rejection. For years, Finn has approached women that he perceived as beautiful and asked them out on dates, and every single time he received a no. Why? One might have thought he was unattractive. One might have already been taken.
True.
One might have simply not been interested.
But he took all them no's the same. I hate, you know what I'm saying? That's how you get people who feel like that, bro.
One might have thought he was creepy, so on and so forth. Every woman had her own reason. But Finn took the rejection very personally.
Yep.
Why?
Come on, bruh.
Think about it. Do we take all rejections personally? If I ask a stranger for a ride, do I get mad if they say no? If I go up to someone and say, "Give me some money," do I become resentful if they say no?
These is facts, bro. Everybody got their own life, right? So when people say no to you, it's not because they hate you. It's not because they don't think you're worth whatever you're asking for. Some people have their own problems. You don't know. Just like how somebody may ask you for something and you may say no. You could have did it. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we on to something.
If I try to flap my arms and fly, do I become resentful at the world for not giving me wings?
Ooh.
I only become resentful if I feel you're blocking me from what I'm entitled to. The key word here is entitlement.
Entitlement.
Finn believes women are objects that he's entitled to.
Oh, my man's speaking. All right, he's speaking. Listen, I'm telling y'all, every time I watch certain communities, everybody is entitled. Everybody feels entitled to the world. The world should be perceived through the perspective that they have. And that's not true. Everybody has their own perspective. So everybody does things for different reasons. Whew. Hey, my
and their
man
lack
talking.
of surrender,
He's talking.
Their lack of submission, the expression of their own autonomy and freedom is a threat to his perceived entitlement. So rejected entitlement leads to frustration, and accumulated frustration leads to resentment.
Come on now, bruh.
And so the belief behind resentment, if I'm going to put it simply, is this: you shouldn't be in my way. Resentment builds when I believe you're preventing me from receiving what I'm entitled to. The resentful I is always looking for someone to blame. So what happens when we become resentful? Like Nietzsche said, resentment is anti-life and anti-growth.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we've seen stories like Finn play out in real life many times. The resentful want to annihilate that which they resent. They want to destroy the thing they think is blocking them from getting what they believe they deserve. Resentment is at best a win-lose game. One person has to lose so the other can
person-
win. But more often, resentment is a
lose-lose.
lose-lose game.
Yup.
The feeling of resentment doesn't feel good. So if I carry it with me, I'm already losing. And if I act on my resentments, it's a loss for the people who I acted out on.
Facts.
So how do we prevent ourselves from becoming resentful? In order to diffuse all resentment in the mind, this idea has to be true. There's a place in this world and a way to that place for everyone which can't be denied by anyone except for themselves. In other words, it's not possible for anyone to truly get in your way.
That's facts. If you just be a good person throughout life, bruh, you will get to a room full of good people. That's just how it works. It may take time. You're not going to get there today. All right? You might not get there tomorrow. You might not get there next week. But you will get closer and closer to a world that is mostly made up of good people. Now, just like everything else, some bad people will find their way in. But if you just keep being good, eventually you'll be able to weed them out and keep moving forward in life. You know what I'm saying?
That's the idea that would have to be true for resentment to never build up in the mind. If we return to the example of Finn, this may mean that he believes, no matter how many times he's rejected,
Facts.
that there's a right person out there for him. And there's a way to find and connect with that person, but he just hasn't found the right way yet. And now you may be wondering, is it true? Is there a place in this world and a way to that place for everyone which can't be denied by anyone except for themselves?
Yup.
Can I construct a scientific experiment to prove that it's true? What would that experiment look like? Let's return to our example. Imagine Finn lives out his whole life, and on the very last day, he says, "It was true. There was a woman for me out there, and it took a while, but I did find my way to her. No one was ever in my way but myself." So in this scenario, Finn has proved the belief true. Now let's consider the alternative. Finn lives out his whole life, and on the very last day, he says, "It's false. There was never a woman for me in this world. I never found her." And
this is like when Will Smith said, "He who says he's right, or he who says he can, and he who says he can't are both right." Whatever you believe is going to happen to you, that's exactly where you're going to end up. Okay?
And I'm not the one to blame. Women are to blame. And the men they choose to be with, they're the ones in my way. The world is to blame for my failure. In this scenario, has Finn proved the belief false? No. What if the right girl did exist, but he just never found her?
He was in his own way.
So what does all of this mean?
Bars.
Earlier, I said this belief had to be true to clear the mind of resentment. There's a place in this world, and a way to that place for everyone, which can't be denied by anyone except for themselves.
This is bars.
And this is a belief that you can prove true for your life, but you can never prove it false. And I think that means, ultimately, that resentment is a choice. And this is a point I really want to hammer home.
Facts. If somebody does you wrong in life, you can't hold on to that forever, right? You have to, because you holding on to that is going to keep other people who may have been good for you out of your life. You must let that go and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And you will eventually be happy with the space that you're in, right? You can't make that person into the person you want them to be. You have to find the space, and that person will be in that space. Come on, bruh. Preacher man Holla in the building. What we talking about?
When you read the manifestos of people like Finn, people who do really atrocious things to the world, you can see they're resentful. And they often say something that amounts to, "Things could have been different if you, the world, didn't make me resentful."
Facts.
And I think this part is false. No one can make you resentful. You have to decide whether the world has a place for you. A place which no one can deny you but yourself. And then you have to dedicate your whole life to that search.
Yep.
And at the end of your life, you can say that you never found that place, but you can never say that it didn't exist, because it's impossible to prove that it doesn't exist. Or you can reject the idea that there's a place for you in this world, and you can become resentful towards the people you think stand in your way. But then you have to be honest with yourself. This is a choice you are making.
And a lot of people will try to escape honesty. Come, bro. I watched like 2 or 3 videos from this, and look, it's the truth. And mind you, I came across this channel when I was in the position of like, you know what? You gotta let things go. Let people be them. You know what I'm saying? And look, it found its way to me. And now it's found its way to y'all. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is believe there's this place for you. That's it. Because there is. There's people who you will be happy around all the time. And those are usually good people. So you have to just be a good person, bro. The people who have resentment, usually they're doing things where he said, hold up, what did he say?
But then you have to be honest with yourself.
You have to be honest with yourself. A lot of people don't want to be honest with themselves. You know what I'm saying? So they keep pretending down a road or resenting people, but trying to play cool with them. They got a place. They on their way. Their energy is sending them into that place. Just keep being positive, bro. You're going to get where you need to be.
This is a choice you are making for yourself.
This is Talk No Jutsu.
No one can make you resentful but you. Resentment arises from a
Hey, look, that's why we're doing this, because I appreciate y'all pulling up to all the videos, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this food for thought will lead y'all down y'all's journey. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a positive person, attract positive people, positive messages, and help y'all get on y'all's positive journey too. You know what I'm saying?
Voluntary abandonment of faith in the world. A voluntary abandonment of hope. And although I talked about resentment in a very specific context, I could have used hundreds of different examples. I could have written about a woman who becomes resentful towards men.
Facts.
Or a boss to their employee.
Yup.
Or an employee to their boss. Or a parent to their kid. Or a kid to their parents. And so on.
It could be anything. That's why you just have to...
But I believe the mechanics of resentment operate the same in all situations. A voluntary abandonment of faith in the world leads to entitlement. Rejected entitlement leads to frustration. And an accumulation of frustration leads to resentment.
And it's a circle. And it's just going to keep going like that. Because the resentment you place on other people is going to send them into the same cycle. That's why you have to be... Man, look. We all live here together. We got to like each other.
Is to never lose hope in the world. So we
don't all got to be around each other, but we all got to accept each other. You know what I'm saying? Y'all do y'all. Over there, I'm going to be over here. That's cool. But you do have a place, though.
Leave you with this. From 1942 to 1945, Viktor Frankl was imprisoned in various concentration camps. In these years, not only had he lost his freedom, but he lost his father, his mother, and his wife to these camps.
Crazy.
Witnessing all the cruelty, humiliation, and atrocities around him, Frankl had every reason to lose hope, but he never did. In fact, in his best-selling book, Man's Search for Meaning, he wrote, quote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way." He reaffirmed the idea that even in the worst of circumstances, when all seems lost, we can still hold on to hope, and we still retain a power that no one, and I mean no one.
Because once you lose the thought that there's hope of good in the world, you will be able to justify any evil action you choose to do. There's a lot of people say knowledge is power, bro. Knowledge is responsibility. Once you know what it means to be a good person, you have a higher level of responsibility than people who don't. Come on, bro.
Can rob us of.
Man, preach it.
Even in the darkest situations, we hold the light within us that can ward off the all-consuming shadows of resentment. But we have to choose to harness that light. And we have to choose not to surrender to the shadow. As always, this is just my opinion, understanding, and interpretation of some of Nietzsche's ideas. not advice.
Genealogy.
If
I
you
gotta
like
look
the
up what that
video,
means.
please consider liking the video.
Oh yeah, we gotta go
And if
ahead
you're
and
looking
like
for
that.
another Nietzsche video to watch after this one, I recommend watching my video, Nietzsche.
Listen. Hold up. Let me finish.
Beware of people playing
Playing
the victim.
victim.
I'll put a link to it in the description below. And
Hey, if somebody always plays the victim, I don't even know what that video about. We might do that for Food for Thought episode 2. Listen, 8 a.m. every morning Eastern Standard Time, I'm dropping a Food for Thought episode, okay?
in the top right of the screen
I
right
don't
now.
know what this one's about.
And if
but I
you're
can
looking for a
guess.
great way to become a better thinker, I recommend checking out this week's sponsor, Brilliant. Brilliant is an interactive learning platform.
Oh, shout out to Brilliant. You know what I'm saying? Look, that's why I like channels like this, Tier Zoo. It teaches you how to think, bro. You think, you know what I'm saying? Tier Zoo taught us about the animal kingdom and all that great stuff. This is teaching us about our life path and, you know what I'm saying, how to, what's it called? Freedom in thought. You know what I'm saying? If you can be free in your mind, you will get to wherever you need to go in life. But, you know what I'm saying? That was episode 1 of Food for Thought. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know if y'all rocking with this series, if y'all not. It's time to get to the funny stuff, all right? If you on the stream, y'all know what we got lined up. But until I see y'all watching at home, peace.
Yeah, nigga, I was broke. I ain't have a penny, I was ready to kick a dope. Lay your ass on the floor, taking everything about this bitch before I go. Niggas talking all that gang when the sugar pumping through their main vein. Swerve on them like a lane change. Fuck with youngin' cause we on the same thing. Granny died, it was 4:45, maybe 7. I lost